you. And we are right across the street from them, as a matter of fact, this morning. We are at Woolfiles, 5818 State Street in Saginaw. It is their Mow the Distance promotion with Gravely. You can come on in and test drive some of these beautiful Gravely zero-turn mowers and other Gravely equipment. All here waiting for you at Woolfiles with special pricing. And it is going on today. So come on out, and you can follow Woolfile Ace Hardware on Facebook for all kinds of sales and upcoming events and special deals. Again, that's Woolfiles Ace Hardware on Facebook. I would tell you what's happening during the 10 o'clock hour, but it's the same thing that's happening during the 9 o'clock hour. Which means I'm a glutton for punishment, and I haven't turned his microphone yet on purpose. In the background, that moan belongs to the one and only Ernie Krieger.
Good morning, Arthur.
Good morning, Ernie. How are you?
Oh, it's excellent out here right now.
Yeah, today,
lots of sun.
enjoy it. Enjoy it.
Good day to test drive a Gravely.
That's right.
lawnmower.
That's right. It's a great day. Come on out. Ernie, of course, with Ernie Krieger Appliance Service on Bay Road in Saginaw.
Yep.
And if you have any questions about major appliance repair, this will be your opportunity. Give us a call at 989-752-6111. Ernie will point you in the right direction on how to fix it and get it repaired, or we will turn it into a boat anchor.
And we have done that.
We have done that over the years. It's been, I want to say, 46 years, 47 years.
Yep,
pretty much. Goes back to the late 70s.
I can remember you had dark hair.
Yeah.
Now you have no hair.
I love it that way. Don't have to worry about it. What's your excuse?
Hey, once in the morning I brush it, and then it's good for the next morning.
Yeah.
What you see is what you get.
Oh, my goodness. Well, listen, even though, it's going to be 50-something, 52, 54 today, and then we go back in the tank again for a few days, but spring is right here. We are officially now in spring, and people will start thinking about air conditioners, like me, window air conditioners. Now, mine, I have screens, so I'm not worried that the inside is all crudded up.
And that's worked out well for you.
Very well.
Maybe we should mention about the screens for people who maybe bought an air conditioner a year ago, and what we're finding is it worked good last year. This year, maybe it isn't going to work so good because they got sucked in with cottonwood.
Without the screen. Yeah.
Without the screen.
However, I will say this about the screens. Just because you have a screen, folks, doesn't mean you can ignore the unit, because I have found out.
Oh, you got to clean
I
them.
have to go out a couple of times a year and with a brush away everything on the screen that would have been inside the air conditioner if I hadn't done that.
Yep.
So that is one caveat. You can't just do it and forget it.
No. And, on the smaller air conditioners, if they do get sucked up full of cottonwood, they're not an easy thing to tear apart to get in there to clean that stuff out.
Is that new? I thought they just slid right out, don't they?
Well, you got to take the wrapper off of them,
and
then you got to take the shroud off in order to get into where
there's a shroud too.
Oh yeah, it's a little bit involved, and unfortunately, sometimes the cost on some of these units to clean them. You may want to just think about going out and buying another 6,000 BTU air conditioner, because the prices have come down so low.
So let me ask this, Ernie, because we know in refrigerators there's new refrigerants now.
Yep.
Is that also true of the window air conditioners?
Yep.
And are they as efficient?
I would say they are. The only issue that we have with them is, like everything else in our industry, the 5 to 6 years, you're looking for something new.
Throwaways, in other words.
And then with the air conditioners, you may have them 1 or 2 years, and they have been working fine, and then that third year, wow, they're just not cooling, and it's because they're plugged up.
And if they're plugged up, let's say you have an air conditioner, works fine, but it's plugged up now, so it's not working as well. Not something the homeowner should do to take it apart and clean it, is it? Because it fins, and everything else. You use chemicals on them, don't you?
Yes. because that cottonwood can get sucked in there pretty good. It's on the back side of the condenser. So what you're looking at from the outside of the house doesn't show the status or the airflow on the back side, and it's getting into that back side that's difficult. And some people have taken pressure washers and whatever.
That's not good for them, is it?
No, well, it blows all the fins off.
What do
it
the
makes
fins
them all
do?
go.
Are they the cooling units?
Yeah, what happens is the refrigerant goes through the tubing, and that heat is then dissipated into those fins, and then as the air goes past it, it takes the heat away. See, in refrigeration, you're transferring heat from one place to the other. So if you can't get rid of the heat in that condenser, then the evaporator, which is where all your cooling's done, becomes inefficient.
How does one figure if they're going to buy a new air conditioner, we're talking window air conditioners here. They're going to buy a window air conditioner. Does it pay to buy bigger than you need?
Yeah, I would oversize. The controls that we have now are a lot better in measuring the air temps so that the compressor would cycle, and you have the option to let the fan continue to run or have the fan shut off. My option always is to let that fan continue to run.
Really?
Yeah, because what it does then is it gives you a better read on what the temperature of that room is. If you have that fan shut down, then you're going to go for drastic highs and lows. So I'd rather have that fan running and have that compressor come back on to maintain a temperature of, let's say, 70, 71 degrees. Most people say, well, 71 degrees, that's pretty warm. And it's like, no, it's not
72
warm.
72 when it's 80 outside feels pretty good.
And you have to remember, you're just not pulling heat out of the room, you're also reducing the amount of moisture. You're pulling out humidity. And so when you walk into that room, the moisture that's on your skin is going to evaporate, and that causes a cooling effect for you also.
So let me go back to what I asked in terms of what I was going to ask in terms of room sizing. Let's say you're going to put one in the living room, okay? And let's say your living room is, I don't know, let's pick numbers, 10 by 20, so 200 square feet, all right? So let's say you got a 200 square foot room. How do you figure how much air conditioning you need?
There is a formula that they use. It's kind of like a slide rule. And in fact, now you can put it into your computer and program your size of the room, and it automatically will tell you how many BTUs.
Now, I know I have one that's way too big for my room. I have a room that's it's probably 15 by 20, so let's say 300 square feet. I got a 12,000 BTU window air conditioner. It cools that room, the adjacent office, the adjacent bedroom, the dining room, and when I walk in the door through the kitchen, it's cool.
Yep.
It just about cools the whole first floor.
Yep.
Which is probably, I would guess, in the neighborhood of, I'm guessing my first floor total, probably in the neighborhood of 1,400, 1,500 square feet.
See, you got to realize that's a window air conditioner, which means it's specifically designed for one specific room. But the way your house is laid out, it has the ability to affect these other rooms like your kitchen and your dining room.
Yeah, because it all comes right off of it. You know?
Correct. So sometimes what people will do is they'll have this 12,000 BTU air conditioner in one side of the house, and they'll use some oscillating fans to move the air around that makes it more efficient.
Which I don't even seem to have to do. I mean, it just seems to do it. You know?
Yeah, well,
it's always worked that way.
You're never home.
Well, the monkey is.
Well, that's true. We got to keep the dog comfortable.
You're darn right. Darn right.
Window air conditioners can be real tricky. Sometimes people think they're going to do more than what they're designed to do. So we got to remind people that it's a specific room. Anything above that, you're getting a bonus.
All right, we're chatting with Ernie Krieger from Ernie Krieger Appliance Repair on Bay Road in Saginaw, 989-752-6111. If you have any appliance repair questions, and Ernie will be happy to chat with you this morning as we broadcast from Wolf Files, 5818 State Street in Saginaw. And let me tell you here at Wolf Files, we have a fabulous Mow the Distance promotion going on with Gravely where you can come in and test drive some of these Gravely mowers, these zero turns, these beautiful mowers that really make the job easy. And they have lots of them, and they're all on sale right now at great sale prices. So come on in and try one of these Gravely mowers as you mow the distance. Also going on, they have a couple of grills on sale. They have a Weber Spirit grill for $4.99, and they actually have, there's a whole grill department with lots of grills on sale. Also at Wolf Files, Royal paints are 50% off. You buy one, get one at 50% off. Clark Kensington and Royal interior and exterior paint collections, all waiting for you at Wolf Files. And again, you can go to Wolf Files Ace Hardware on Facebook and take a look at all the sales and upcoming events here at Wolf Files. 5818 State Street in Saginaw. Stop in, visit the fine folks at Wolf Files today, and take advantage of all the great deals. And let me also, while I have a moment, talk to you about Quick Lane Freeland, next to my car dealer, McDonald Ford. Quick Lane Freeland, one-stop shop for all your oil changes, brakes, tires, batteries. And they work on all makes and models of cars. Doesn't matter what it is, you bring it in and they'll keep it in tip-top shape at Quick Lane Freeland. We've been talking about tires because for the past several months now they've been selling tires at just $5 over cost. That is a good deal. How are you going to do any better? Well, I can tell you how to do better in a moment. But let me remind you that these tires are not off-brands. These are brand-name tires. Michelin, Goodyear, BF Goodrich. Now, I said you can do better. Well, the way you do better is depending on the tire you buy. Some of these tires, after you've bought them for $5 over cost, come with an additional $60 to $100 in rebates. There is extra for installation, including balancing and lifetime tire repairs. And they have a wonderful customer lounge with free internet and free ice cream bars at Quick Lane Freeland, right next to my car dealer, McDonald Ford. And if you're in the market for a new or a previously owned vehicle, check out their inventory at McDonald Ford in Freeland and Quick Lane Freeland for all of your routine service. We'll be back.
Mark your calendar.
All right, we're back with you here at Wolf Files, 5818 State Street. I'm Art Lewis, along with Ernie Krieger from Ernie Krieger Appliance Service, answering your questions about major appliance repair. We're going to do that right now with Andrew, who is in Midland. Andrew, good morning to you.
Hey, good morning, guys. How are you guys doing?
We're good. We're good.
Hey, I used to work at that place out there on Davis Road a long time ago with Ernie. I used to set up the microwaves at Delta for Art a long time ago.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
That was a long time ago. We're talking 40 years.
Yeah. So I just have a concern about the current microwave we have, Ernie.
Yep.
It is 25 years old. You know,
Okay.
it still works just fine, but I'm just concerned about it because it's so old. So what do you think?
I would not worry.
Run it till it dies.
Exactly. What brand is
Okay.
Was it an Amana?
No, it's a GE. So but used to have
Okay.
a man a long time ago, but
Okay. Yeah, the only thing I would tell you is on the back, is it a countertop or above the range?
it's a countertop.
Okay, so on the back side of that microwave, there's going to be some venting. You want to just make sure periodically you look at it and clear off the airflow. Because when that microwave's running, that magnetron tube puts off quite a bit of heat. And you have a fan that you hear run that circulates air across that tube to keep it cool. So as long as you've got good airflow, those old GE microwaves, like the Amanas, they were pretty much like a tank. And do you have a control board or a manual timer?
Manual timer.
Okay. Good for
Yeah.
you. I'd run that little puppy till she dies. You know, the only difference between what you have and what's out there new, right now it takes you about 2 minutes to warm a cup of coffee so it's hot enough for you.
There's probably one other difference.
Well,
He probably paid more for that back then, 25 years ago, than
Oh,
he paid
true.
for a new one today.
true.
Yeah.
And
for
the
sure,
one
for
you
sure. Yeah.
the one you buy today, you'll be lucky to get 5 years out of it, especially on a countertop.
All right. Well, thanks, guys, and keep up the good work.
Well, I
Thanks,
appreciate the
Andrew.
call.
Thanks for calling.
Yep.
Bye-bye
Bye-bye.
now.
Bye-bye.
So let me ask you a question.
Sure.
I have a microwave.
Yes, you do.
It's a microwave.
Convection.
It's convection. It's an air fryer.
Good.
It's got bells and whistles. And it seems pretty solid. How long will I get?
Well, you probably don't use it for anything other than warm-ups.
No, I do some reheating with it, but I've used the air fryer portion several times, and haven't done any baking in it or convection in it. But it's got all these bells and whistles, and you wonder, am I asking for trouble with all these bells and whistles?
No, the unit that you have isn't.
Breville, I think it's called.
Yeah,
something.
but it's not something that is most people would have on their countertop. Most people are going to go out and buy a microwave for less than $200. The unit that you have is a little more pricey. I mean,
Yeah, it was.
you know, you're Art Lewis. You know, you know.
So what?
Yeah, I'm going to get whatever I want, and
No.
and you have a Cadillac in microwaves. So I would say your range, with as little as you use it, you're going to get 20 years out of it.
Yeah, that's
Hopefully-
what I was thinking. It'll last longer than me.
Hopefully, you know, while you're shaking your cup to put it in there when
I
you're
don't shake my
98 years old, because you want to live longer than that microwave.
That's right.
That little devil shouldn't cause you any problems.
Well, anyway, it's just it's interesting today how some things have actually come down in price, and it's probably supply and demand more than anything, and the competition out there, because everybody's got microwaves, but you really wonder how many companies really build them.
I would say the majority of them are coming from China. I mean, you still have some microwaves that are put together here, but the parts are all coming from overseas. And again, we're in this throwaway society. I mean, look at TVs. One of the reasons why we at our shop stopped doing TVs, how could I justify telling somebody to spend $300 to fix their 40-inch TV when for another $50 they could buy a 55-inch and have a warranty on it? So it made no sense. So we got out of the electronics business. And I think the only ones that are being fixed are the 75-inch TVs.
They cost you big money,
Yeah,
and even those will come down.
sure.
So the other question I would have then, because for years and years you also had APE, who was Ernie Krieger Appliance Service and Parts.
Yes,
You shed the parts part.
yes.
Is that just a matter of the supply chain not being able to do what it's supposed to do? To some degree, anyway?
We went through a massive change when COVID hit. And when you start to look at the amount of time with a person that we spend on the phone, helping people figure out what parts they need, and then have that person come in and then say, well, I could get it $5 cheaper on the internet. It's like that happened more often than not. So it's like, you know what? I'm banging my head against the wall. We have a distributor that we work with that has 5 different locations that if you call them today, chances are you'd have that part tomorrow.
Yeah, because you still have to get parts because you're on the road servicing.
Correct.
So you have to be able to get parts.
Correct.
But you're just not selling them over the counter anymore.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep. And then getting parts still is a situation, especially when it comes to control boards. And like we've always talked, you know, all the manufacturers, whether it's a GE, a Whirlpool brand, or a Samsung, you know, they're all having still system problems, whether it be compressor or units that develop leaks, within their 2nd to 5th year.
This compressors, no less.
Oh yeah, and the problem is, we don't buy a $500 refrigerator anymore. Everybody's buying these $1,500 to $3,000 refrigerators because they like the features.
So let me ask. That's an interesting question. If I bought a $500, $600, $700 refrigerator, a basic upright, maybe a bottom freezer, but fairly basic.
All right, $700.
Let's say $700. Or I went in and bought the $2,500 version, multiple drawers and all of that stuff. Is the refrigeration system any different?
No, they all transfer heat from
Well, I
one
don't mean
place
that,
to
but
another.
I mean, is it any better quality but in the guts?
No, you're just paying for all the whistles and bells. Chances are that inexpensive refrigerator, in 7 years when it goes, you're just going to go out and buy a new one. In 7 years when your $3,000 refrigerator goes out, you're going to probably want to fix that.
Oh, the confusion of all of it.
Oh, yeah.
To say the least.
Oh, yeah.
All right, 989-752-6111. If you have a major appliance and you need to get some information on getting it repaired, give us a call, chat with Ernie Krieger, and we will return with more from Wolf Files after these notes.
Spring is finally...
Yeah, now you better.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I have a GE Profile microwave. It's around 12 years old.
Okay.
Basically, I know that's a countertop throwaway microwave, but it has a trim kit. It's built into an upper cabinet. It's 1,000 watts. They no longer make that unit. My problem with it is everything is functioning except the door opening. There's some wear in the slide product.
Yep.
I can't find a comparable unit. They quit making that. I checked into some others. I would pay money to have the door rebuilt. Is it rebuildable?
Probably not. What I would tell you, did you go on, did you Google that model number to see if...
Yes, I did. And the replacement, Ernie, is it's no longer 1,000 watt. It's an 800 watt. I actually purchased it. It cost too much. It doesn't perform the way the other one did. Then I played around with another one. It's just been a nightmare because of the need to have it, back in that upper cabinet, the 12-inch depth. Even if I relieve, drywall and hack some other 2x4s, I can
to make
get
room.
more depth.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
The other option you might have is there may be somebody out there that's got a door. It would be used, but it might be in better shape than the one that you've got. When you say the door
products, that you push the button and it just
it pops
ran out of
open. Yeah.
No, it doesn't pop open. I actually have to grab it with like a paper clip and give it just an extra few thousandths, and whammo, it'll open.
Yeah, how handy are you?
Oh, my wife would tell you I'm roadkill, but I think I do pretty well.
Well, it sounds like you've taken that microwave in and out of that opening a number of times to try other microwaves, correct? So,
Yes, sir. Yes.
It would be no big deal for you to take that microwave, put it on a bench, take the wrapper off of it. That control board only has 1 or 2 screws that holds it in place, and then you can lift it kind of out and over so you can look at the little mechanism. It's almost like a teeter-totter. When you're pushing that in, there's a lever then that kicks into the switches to release the 2 little fingers that latches into it. And you may be able to look at that and make a little alteration to the lever that you're pushing in that kicks that door back open.
Sure.
See what I'm getting at? It's a mechanical device, and you might even be able to, put together some type of a fudge on that plastic that gives it a little more meat, so that when you're pushing it in, it's popping that door because it's wanting to do it, like you said, and you're going to have to grab it to get it to open. You might be able to get it to pop a little more.
Okay. So that's why I didn't know if they're like quarter moon discs that slide, and obviously it gets a lot of use, but it's
sure.
Yeah, it needs help. I didn't know if your company would attack that as on a bench level. If I realize it's probably going to cost me more than it's worth, but it's because of the built-in and trim kit and everything else.
I'm thinking you're going to be better off pulling that wrapper off and taking a look at that mechanism at the bottom, the button that you're pushing in, and looking at the lever that kicks it back out.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
It might be as simple as making an adjustment on that lever, then, right?
Well, it's plastic.
Oh, it is. Okay, so you can't bend it.
No, but you might be able to put a little shim on that plastic that gives you a little bit more meat on the piece that's pushing into the door to get it to kick open.
All right.
Yep.
There you go.
Build it up somehow. Yep. Build it up somehow with some wearable surface.
Yeah. The other thing that you're going to find is on some of those releases, there's a slide that has the interlock switches in it, and there's two screws that allow you to raise that up and down and go back and forth. That's the other option that you can play with to make an adjustment on that door release.
All right.
Better get
There you go, Terry.
Yep. Thank you very much for your help.
You bet. Thanks
you're
for
welcome.
calling.
Good luck
Appreciate
with it. Bye-bye.
All right, stick around. We're going to take a break. We have a question from a caller about a dryer, and we'll get to that in just a couple of moments here on WSGW. But first, let me remind you, we are at Wolf Files, 5818 State Street in Saginaw. This is the Mow the Distance promotion going on with Gravely right now. And you can save yourself from $500 up to $1,000, depending on the Gravely mower you're interested in. The neat thing about it, too, is you can come out and test drive them all during this Mow the Distance promotion here at Wolf Files, 5818 State Street in Saginaw, where they're also featuring some Weber grills on sale right now, where you can save yourself some nice money on a Weber grill. It's that time of the year. They've got a paint deal going on now. You buy one, you get one at 50% off. And this is Royal and Clark and Kensington paints. And they also have, of course, all the good stuff you need to do the job. It's all happening here at Wolf Files, 5818 State Street in Saginaw. Stop in and take a look at all the things on sale. And also remember, in the not-too-distant future, it won't be too long, a few weeks from now, we'll be telling you about their big auction here. And also in June, usually Weber Days, where we have cooking outside. So it's all happening here at Wolf Files, where we will return. Following Wolf File Ace Hardware on Facebook for sales, upcoming events, and special deals. So we had a question from a listener, Ernie. She has a dryer making a high-pitched squealing noise. Mm-hmm. It seems to work, but the noise is annoying.
Oh, yeah. Did she tell you what brand?
She did not, or he did not, whatever it is. No, we don't have a brand.
Okay, well, it could be an idler pulley. This is what keeps tension on the belt. So,
bearing squealing.
Yeah, especially if it's a Whirlpool. That's not a big deal to change that idler pulley. Depends on the age of that dryer. If it turns out to be a GE, depending on the age, there's a rear bearing that will start to squeal. A lot of people will say, well, we'll just spray some silicone on it or some WD-40. Well, that might take care of the noise for a little while, but it's going to come back.
Yeah.
But the noise that she's describing shouldn't be a major repair.
All right. John is in Bay City. John, you're on with Ernie. Good morning. You got about 2 minutes, so go ahead.
Morning, yes. I have a 4.5, 5-year-old Whirlpool washer, top loader, and I just put a load in last night, and when it got done, it was the bottom clothes were very wet. Maybe it was too full. I don't know if it's not emptying out. I'll
So
go in the rinse.
So was there Was there still water left in the bottom?
No, there would have been the holes in the bottom of the tub absorbs the water,
Right.
soaking wet.